Whichever of our Bohemian Groove movies is your favorite, we can all agree that these movies are definitely better. You're drinking some absinthe. Corey, drop that beat. Welcome to More Gooder Than.
What's up, home tree?
What? Marty is stupid. Boom.
Marty, you moron. We're gonna have a good time. I actually very agree.
1,000 years. Anyways.
We're gonna have a tangent. This is
Consider that a divorce.
Welcome back to More Gooder Than, where we rate and dissect pop culture one episode at a time. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Brayton, and I'm joined by my co-host, Corey Sasso.
What it is, home trees?
You keeping it going.
It's 2019.
Oh, yeah, baby.
It's lit up in here.
It's lit. I'm so glad we're continuing that. And Donnie, the D-sharp car.
My yeet is on fleek, fam.
Yo. What's yeet?
I have no idea.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Honestly, if you knew, I would be mad at you. I would. For those of you joining us for the first time, we're old. And Corey, Donnie, and I each take sides on a predetermined movie trio and try and sway the world to agree with our opinions on which one is most goodest. And today we have more high G's above C, absinthe-induced fever dreams, and Beatle maniacs you can shake a Tony Award at. Nice
wordplay. I liked your accent.
Thank you. Yes. Thomas Howarth, the man, the myth, the legend, the hard to use your name in a fun pun.
Real hard.
Yeah.
Real hard way.
Names.
We tried.
We tried so hard to work your name into the title. He has been one of our staunchest supporters, and it's time that he was rewarded for his royal fourth tierness. So he picked some musicals for us to enjoy. I wonder why. I don't know why he would think that.
We despise musicals.
Yeah, I don't know where he picked that up from.
Well, I mean, going back to when he and I were in high school together, he's well aware of my love of singing.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't know why anyone would think that me and Corey like to sing.
Yeah.
Anything. The hills are alive with the sound. Oh, well, I guess we'll never know. Anyway, the movies are Jesus Christ Superstar, Moulin Rouge, and Across the Universe. They were picked by Thomas Howarth, fourth tier patron, supporter extraordinaire. So who got which flick? Find out in this corner. I liked it better when we let them pick. Because I always feel...
Did he not assign?
No, you just said dibs.
Well, because I knew what Thomas wanted. I knew what Thomas wanted for me.
I'm just saying.
I knew what he wanted.
You said dibs.
He knows Donnie's love of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, I wasn't going to fight.
And he
Honestly,
knows you're a big Beatles fan. And he knows that I like Moulin Rouge. I don't know.
Everyone likes Moulin Rouge. I know.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
You've never seen it? Oh,
yeah.
I'm glad we're getting
lucky.
I know. Well, he's never. So me and you have never seen Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
And then you've never seen Moulin Rouge.
Right.
And have you seen Across the Universe before?
I hadn't realized it until I watched it, and I was like, "This feels real familiar."
2007.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah.
My wife was watching that one with me, and she's like, "I think this is one of those movies that your mom bought at Costco, like sight unseen, and just like,
yes,
and it was just like, here, you guys should watch this movie. It's good."
my parents they used to when Costco would do like all the DVD sets. Remember before Netflix streaming and everything, you bought the DVD sets at Costco.
Yeah, she did. She buys movies that she's never seen.
Yeah.
And she's like, I heard this was good. You guys should watch it, and just like pawns it off on us. So I think this is one of those.
It's still one of my favorites ever. Is that when my conservative dad bought Brokeback Mountain because he thought it was a Western starring Heath Ledger, and he's a huge Heath Ledger fan.
Yeah, it's about these young boys like to go fishing.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, they go to the thing. He says, oh man, it's a really good movie, and he was really enjoying it. Like he was really enjoying it. He's like, man, Heath Ledger's such a good actor. It's like, yeah, Daddy really is. He's telling me about it. Like, you're in for a treat. So anyway, he really. I
want to hear the post review.
Yeah.
He reenacted it for me. He says, oh.
We need to pair that with something and get
him as a guest.
Get him in the studio.
I have tried to get him to record some things. He's been very dad lately too. Like he's been using the word they a lot. You know what I'm talking about?
Those people?
No, not those people. They. Like
like he's trying to be like progressive.
No. No, definitely not. That is 100% not true.
Being non-binary, non-gender specific.
I wish, man. No, like we were talking about trying to talk to him about global warming. Feel bad. Good thing is he never listens to the show, so this is really good.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, they say that this is happening. Like
They say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay.
why do people think we like to sing like we like musicals? And she's like, well, they're pushing the agenda. Like, Dad, who's they? He's like,
Scientists?
it's like, yeah, you mean scientists? It's like, no, they. Like, you say they a lot recently, and like everything is and the theys are always just depending on what he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Is they.
Yeah, but he says it like you'd say like the N word or something.
I guess, yeah, I know. Anyway. So you have Moulin Rouge, right, Corey?
That's my top choice. You guys gonna give it to me?
No, we're
you guys
fine.
gonna concede?
The world is better when
I'm happy.
When you're happy.
I was always having Superstar.
Yeah, and I legitimately now I've come to realize I actually don't care what I get. Yeah, I really don't. And then so yeah, Donnie Superstar, and I have
Across the universe.
around the galaxy,
the universe, around the universe. No, not doing it for you?
around the world. Are you doing around the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Delete that.
Sit back, relax, be ready for some fun, and come one may. Show you the goods.
It's good.
So this first one, we got a quickie with Big D of apocryphal proportions.
Ha. Jesus Christ Superstar, perhaps the most accurate interpretation of the New Testament. Superstar boldly brings back the original funk omitted since the King James Version.
I mean, the pre-King James was much more funky.
Yeah.
Man, there was some talent. There was some talented singers in this.
I get the impression Corey did not
But
like
here's the
Jesus
thing:
Christ
everything
Superstar.
about this movie.
there was some talented people, and then there were some very, very bad people. Caiaphas, I thought it was a joke every time he sang.
Because he sings so deep.
But no, it was the friend, Ananias.
Annas.
It was this contrast between this really high and really low.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Here, let's see.
I'm not lying. I'm not even exaggerating. I hate this movie worse than I hate The Wiz.
Wow.
Whoa! No,
That's
Wiz is
And them's fighting
bad.
words.
no. The Wiz is horrible.
This is worse than The Wiz. I'm sorry.
Really?
I will watch The Wiz again because there are saving points. Like Michael Jackson in The Wiz is like sort of like it saves it a little bit. but
I will
this is
give you
awful.
that this movie. Here's the thing: this movie is not good.
Terrible.
It is obviously a filming of a stage production,
Yeah.
and so. But I get the whole vibe of it, and I do get that it's an old movie.
Yeah, it was like 68 or 69 when it was on Broadway, and then
Yeah.
this movie was filmed in like 72.
This movie also made me realize like the musical genre that I hate the worst as well. Like I
What do you
like
mean?
funk. Okay, like I like some funky music. Like give me like some
Wiz.
no, like some funky bass. You know, like so like I feel like I would describe Rage Against the Machine as like funky. So I can't say I hate funk.
Well, they're the
But there
renegades.
was,
They're the renegades
exactly.
of funk.
But there's like this specific era of funk, like this like
Oh, the late
disco
60s,
funk.
early
Late
70s.
60s, early 70s?
Like this disco funk
That's like really
is
good
I
music. That's like
hate
really
it.
good music.
No,
during
it's
that time.
pre-disco.
Yeah.
Is this pre-disco? Well, this is like maybe
Yeah.
the spawn of disco or something like that. But
This is pure hippie.
it's
Yeah.
terrible. I hate it.
Wow.
I hate everything
Man.
about this.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's what I want to say. I'm really glad that I finally have seen this movie. Because Donnie has talked about it. Your mom has talked about it.
She got me into this when I was like 14,
And
15.
so, and that, you know what? That's what it is, Corey. He saw it at a formative time.
yeah.
I'm serious.
Donnie's talked favorably about it. I've always heard about it, so it was something like, oh, cool. I can finally kind of check this off my list. I can see this movie.
What was a song that you actually did enjoy? Did you enjoy any of the songs?
Okay. I will be fair. At some point during watching it, because my wife walked out. She's like, I'm sorry, I got better things to do. Because she hated it equally as much as I did. But there was a moment where she came back in, and I said, as much as I hate this, there are some parts that are like stuck in my head, and I just keep singing them.
The Mary
And so
Magdalene
it's,
song.
What's the buzz? What's happening? What's the buzz? Like that just was stuck in my head, and it was like simultaneously like catchy but driving me nuts. with passion.
I really, really, really liked the Mary Magdalene song. To know him is to love.
That was slightly redeemable.
I don't know how to love him.
Yeah.
I don't know how to love. Okay, yeah.
I can't say I really, really liked it. It was the best.
I actually
of this
no.
pile.
I actually like. I that was the one that I put on my Spotify list. Like, I actually really liked this song.
I think that was like a hit single.
Yeah, probably. The weird thing was every so often they would just like hit a high note, and it would came out of.
I was like, no, I was like, oh god, like I think my window just cracked.
Yeah, it was. Have you guys ever read? This actually is going to come up twice. Do you guys know who Christopher Moore is, the author?
No.
So Christopher Moore writes these really like absurdist books. He wrote this book called Lamb, and it's called Lamb: The Gospel According to Biff, Jesus Christ's childhood friend.
I think you've talked about it before.
I have.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Elise is actually rereading it. I'll have to give it to you, Donnie. Donnie, you would really, really like it, especially because you're a Superstar fan. But it actually has a similar vibe where like you just like see this like super human side. And so you just look at it from another perspective. Everyone else is just like, oh yeah, this is a really charismatic teacher. And then Mary Magdalene says, oh, he's just a man. So like you do, and it humanizes Judas. I did not know if that was Judas or Peter at the beginning of it. Like I'm just like, I don't know who this is.
It's basically told from Judas's point of
exactly.
view.
Yeah.
The other thing about it is that but anyway, read Lamb. Lamb's a very, very good book. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's not irreverent actually. It's very good. But so when I told Elise, I said like I did enjoy it. I'm glad I watched it. There was some kind of ridiculous parts, but it felt the same way when I'm watching. This is gonna sound funny, an anime. Every so often when I'm watching anime, I always feel like I'm missing something when I'm watching it. Like there's other material that I should have read or known about beforehand for this story to make sense.
I kind of had the same feeling watching Moulin Rouge, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, I need to know something else. Like, this is a very popular story and it's being retold. So if you were watching Jesus Christ Superstar and you had no prior knowledge of Judaism or Christianity in any way, the story itself would be incomprehensible.
Yeah, it would make no sense.
You would not know anything what was going on.
You have to have the background.
There is no story. There's just songs.
Yeah.
And so luckily we live in America and we've raised on Judeo-Christian values and everything like that. So like we know what's going on.
It was made for an American audience.
Yeah, exactly. But so that was it. It's like, if I was just someone that had no idea, I would know nothing what's going on right now.
Well, what bothered me the most too is they got like a major fact wrong. Jesus died on a cross, not cross-died. He had cross eyes. So I'm just messing with you.
That's really good. Mine was my other thing I was saying
he had like one lazy eye that never moved. Like, why did you cast this guy?
You know what it is? He blew a gasket when he was hitting that high C above you. That's what it was.
And his eye just like popped around.
You can't hit those notes without something happening to you bodily. No, mine was the whole time thinking like it would have been super easy in late 60s, early 70s, just walk out on the street like, hey, you could play Jesus.
Yeah.
I know, right? That's the casting just because he had the long hair.
Yeah, just like, but he looks like every other douchebag.
Hippie in the time period. Yeah.
Man, you guys don't like Ted Neely? What about Carl Anderson as Judas?
Actually, he was probably my favorite performance. I thought he did a pretty good job. He was a bit over the top though. That's like his performances were just like he was like not even 11. He was at 12. Like he was beyond that.
You like Moulin Rouge, and you say this is a little bit over the top.
No, he is saying some things.
I did see the hypocrisy when I was watching Moulin Rouge, and I was like, man, this should irritate me, but I love it. I love everything about it.
I want to bring up my dad again real quick. So Moulin Rouge is actually my dad's favorite movie.
Dad's a smart man.
It's my dad's favorite movie. But I
agree with him. That's a stupid dog.
He hates it's a stupid dog. He hates musicals. He hates other music. Like I tried showing him Hamilton, wanted nothing to do with it. Elise's favorite before Hamilton was Les Mis, and so like Elise was playing my dad Les Mis song, like and the good ones, like the real song. I'm just saying like not just like the random like talking ones, like the actual like singing the songs, like I Dreamed a Dream, like. He's like, no, not for me. He says, I just like it when a musical can like, you remember the songs afterwards. And so he started naming the musicals that he liked, and they were all ones that used pop songs. It's like, yes, Dad, you like these because you've heard the song before. It's like, yeah, of course. It's like, Dad, you don't understand. So like you don't actually like musicals.
It's less that he likes it. It's just familiar.
It's just familiar. And that's the thing. So it's like he doesn't understand how like that sounds dumb. That like you've heard the songs before, so of course you're gonna like it. You've heard these are all really popular songs, and they have to get.
They were chosen for this.
Yeah, they were chosen.
They were good.
It's like, oh yeah, like Rock of Ages, like that's a really good musical. Yeah, it's Journey songs, Queen song, all things that you like. And then Moulin Rouge, same thing. Like, oh yeah, I just like it when they do the love medley. You mean the music from when you were in your 20s, and like you really like that music anyway. So I actually didn't ask him if he's seen Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
Superstar. I hiccup. I do know that they like. All I know about Jesus Christ Superstar is that they like the Mary Magdalene song. That's all I know. Which is me.
That one's decent.
Did you like the Herod one? Where
that scene was pretty fun. I mean, I do like.
It's the guy from City Slickers. It's the brother.
Oh, the ice cream guy.
The ice cream guys.
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, I looked up. Like he looks so familiar.
Ben and Ira or whatever.
Gold. What was the?
I mean, that was the
Ben and
two
Ira,
characters in
Rum Raisin.
Yeah.
What? Woof. Gosh, City Slickers is a good movie.
But the Herod part was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's something about this that really reminded me of The Wiz. Just like the weird, like fantasy, sort of like nightmarish land, like the scenery that they come up with.
Oh, somebody had to have died. So my main research was looking up like what were the filming conditions.
Oh yeah, it was like on location in Israel.
Yeah.
Were they in Israel?
Yeah,
they were.
Oh, thank you so much for telling me this.
Yeah.
So it had to have been just hell on earth, filming in the middle of the desert.
Well, they were required. They had these big blocks of ice that were sent out there, and they were required every 20 minutes to hydrate because he was afraid of something going wrong.
Tell me more things.
They had to like get permission from probably both governments to film there, and so when they're like driving the bus out there through the desert, they're driving the bus through the desert to set up in this ruin to film.
Interesting story about them filming on location.
Okay.
They hired a lot of local talent for, a lot of like the behind the scenes like set up and stuff like that. And so at one point, all of the electricians disappeared for a day and they couldn't figure out where they all went. Well, it's because all of the adults in Israel are actually in the military.
Yes.
And so there was like some skirmish. They had to go and basically fight for that day. And so they couldn't do their day jobs. And then they came back the next day and everything was good. They were victorious.
That's a really good story. No,
cool
I'm going to
story,
say that's really good. No, I didn't do too much research on it. Just you are spilling the Tim Tam juice everywhere.
Man.
I don't know why. I can't keep it in my
It's
mouth.
not called tea anymore. It's Tim Tam juice.
I don't know if this was the first Tim Rice, Andrew Lloyd Webber like collaboration, but I think it really set the stage for future ones. I don't know. I don't understand like how you guys are having this reaction.
Do you find
to
the lyrics clever? I don't think that they were clever at all. They didn't rhyme. Like it didn't even tell the story that well. Like I just didn't.
I would like to take some slap in the face to Donnie hypocrisy right now. Was that like when he slams on things that we watched when we were 14?
Yeah,
like Armageddon. And like other things like that. So I don't understand why you guys don't like this that much.
Armageddon is objectively stupid.
Also, no, I'm just saying you watch this at your formative time, and I totally get. And so I just want to say that right now I want to be the bigger man and allow you to enjoy this movie.
I do feel bad.
You.
Like
You're
I feel
welcome.
like I'm just like spewing hate on this movie, and I know this is
You
important
are,
to Donnie.
You are, yeah.
I want to express this is the new worst movie that we've watched.
Wow.
Yes.
That's nowhere near mine. I did actually, in the end, glad that I watched it. I don't think I'll ever watch it again. The Mary Magdalene song is on. I
know some people find it offensive, but
I don't find it offensive at all.
Nah, they're too sensitive.
I wasn't, raised any particular religion, so I didn't have that aspect.
It's fine. It's
going
just
people who are insecure in their faith that take umbrage to this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's like, wait, what? It didn't happen exactly as I learned it. Like I don't know. You know what I mean?
Nah,
they're just insecure in their own faith.
It's what he said. No, I don't. Same thing with Lamb. Like if you read the book Lamb, which guys, hey, it's by Christopher Moore. And I'm just kidding.
I did think it's funny. This is directed by a guy by the name of Jewy.
Yes, it was. It was really. Tell me that you liked Caiaphas's hot. Did you like his hat?
Oh, the bubble hat? Yeah.
And then all the Sanhedrin had like the big hats.
All the Pharisees.
As we talk about it, there are a few things that I'm now looking back on it somewhat fondly, but I just know it's bad. It's not good.
Did you like his hat?
I was so angry during it. The scene that I connected with the most was when Jesus was tipping over all the money changes.
Awesome.
I wanted to do that to this movie. I wanted to destroy it.
The thing is I hope he did that in one take because it was going to take forever.
That was it. After two takes, everything was destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was so good.
He was really getting into it. I actually was like concerned for like the safety of him and the other actors. Like
he really went for it.
He did. He went for it.
He went for it. Yeah. He honestly could have stood back though and unleashed that high note, and it would have just blown it all away.
All the glass.
It goes into slow mo.
It's like Banshee from X-Men. So,
well, we've been to see Superstar several times. We saw.
Were you in Israel?
No. We did go see we saw a bunch of tours. My mom and I. The first one we went to see was supposed to be Carl Anderson and Ted Neely. Ted Neely was like sick or something, so his understudy was Jesus.
That's a bummer.
So we did see Carl Anderson, and the next time we saw it, we did see Ted Neely, but I think Carl Anderson had passed away at that point.
So you see this
up until 2018,
twice?
he was still playing Jesus.
Yeah,
he's like 73.
Yeah,
man. When you got it, you got it.
Yeah, I guess.
Still hit those high notes. It's when when he was in the leper colony. Leave me alone.
I don't even think that
he got attacked by leopards.
He was that great of a singer through most of it. It was just that he could just do those things. That was they really wanted that sound.
It's similar to like the Bee Gees. Like, he can't really sing, but he can sing.
Yeah,
you can tell by the way I use my walk.
Yeah, he's just really good at that falsetto thing.
Like when I was 16, I wanted to see Superstar starring Chris Cornell.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome. But that's not going to happen now.
No, everyone's dead.
But yeah, I mean, like late 60s, early 70s, like that music. I love the music. I love everything about this. And I'm not a Christian. Like, it's not my thing.
Not a Christian, not even that big of a fan of musicals, and he loves this.
This movie and musical, like, makes me feel more kindly towards Christians.
I did like the opening riffs with the guitar. I liked how it opened. I liked them setting up. I love the ending where they leave. Like, it's very poignant. Everything about there's some really good things about this. I feel like it needs a redo. Like,
oh please God, no.
Appropriate for the movie setting.
Rewrite the music and
not rewrite the music. Rewrite some things.
If you're gonna do it, rewrite it all.
All right. Yeah.
Because like I said, going into it, I'd always heard about it, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Jesus Christ Superstar, just like this kind of fun modern twist on the old story, and then it was just like so bad, so bad. But again, like I said, I hate that era. It's like 3 years in the 70s that I hate. Just fuck that era in particular.
Oh, I want to look up some music from this. I gotta. Sorry.
A lot of the stuff from across the universe would have been same time period.
Exactly. That's what it is. Sorry.
Well, you're gonna find out that I'm not that big of a Beatles fan.
I know. Yeah.
Well, now I feel a little better.
I, for some reason in my head, when I was looking for this one, I had in my head that it was Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat,
which are related, right?
So
the same writer or something.
When I saw that it wasn't Donny Osmond, I'm like, oh, I thought Donny Osmond was in this movie. And then I was like, oh, no, you're dumb. They're two different movies. That's Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
What is it?
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor.
Oh, you think it's an amazing coat?
No, that's what it's called.
I'm messing with you. Galindo texted me this morning. He's like, hey, I got you Liam Neeson's joke. It sounded like Donnie was really annoyed. He says you should now refer to Bruce Willis as Bruce Willis. You've got to watch some Keen and Peele, man. Yeah, it's the way they talk is infectious.
Oh, I like those guys.
Yeah, but that's one of their things. They did the Bruce Willis and the racist Melly Gibson.
I usually I see them on other things.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, I mean, Jordan Peele's an Oscar winner now.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. Get Out's awesome.
Yeah. Another funny thing from having all like on location employees. The extra who was playing a Roman soldier who was supposed to like nail the nails into his hands, he didn't understand, like it wasn't translated properly. So he's like, he actually thought he was really supposed to nail it in.
Oh no!
And it's like the last second, like the director like caught what was happening. No, not in the hand, not in the hand.
Oh my god!
They're probably setting up like an angle where it looked like the nail, supposed to be behind the hand, and he was actually going to put it into the hand.
Man,
Jews always happy to
crucify somebody.
Man, I did like their little purple outfits with their little metal hats.
I mean, obviously they didn't have much of a budget, so it was very stripped down.
I didn't even look how much I don't even look how much this costs. Travel was the most expensive thing.
Probably had about the same budget as like the stage show.
Yeah, in line with it being like in the 70s and hippies, it was way over sexualized. Like everyone was just like shirtless and like dancing very erotically.
Because if they wore anything more than that, they would have died of heat stroke.
Jesus loved it too.
Yeah, he did.
No, but if you look at the people who live in that area, they actually cover up a lot. You can't get too much sun or else you'll...
Of course.
Yeah.
No, the smart thing is, to keep covered. And I'm saying, this is going with it. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So what it is that your body, you have to, you got to keep the moisture in.
Yeah. Yeah. You need like a still suit.
You know what oh my gosh. Did you see that?
Is that what it's called? Is it
still suit. Yeah.
Okay. Still suit.
One of the Skarsgård, the oldest Skarsgård is playing Baron Harkonnen.
Which Skarsgård is that?
The oldest. He was in the second Pirates of the Caribbean. He was in the Thor movie. He was in. I'll talk about it later. But anyway,
every song, like I don't skip any songs. Crazy-eyed Simon Zealots. I love that guy that plays Simon.
Was he the one that was doing the big song and dance?
He's the.
He's got the afro, right?
Yeah, he wants Jesus to like get people to rise up against Rome.
That was a good. That was a good song. I didn't dislike it. I don't know if I'd watch it again, but I didn't dislike it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like something raw about their performances too. Like when they were like done with a big number, like you could just see them like just breathing real heavy, like they had really been into it and really doing it. Like I got to give them credit for that. Probably because it was 115 degrees out there too when they were filming. But
like the tanks and the jets, just like
that was a cool scene. I will admit that was the one redeeming quality is that when Judas is out in the middle of the desert and he's kind of wandering, and then those tanks come over that hill. That looks badass.
Yeah.
When he hung himself, that was a powerful scene.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I love this movie.
No, I like it because he keeps saying like, the one thing.
Because I'm a positive guy. I try to
nothing
find, like,
I liked about The Wiz. There wasn't
qualities in
other
everything.
than Michael Jackson. The Wiz could go whiz on itself.
Yeah.
So I feel really racist when I don't like The Wiz. It feels like I'm being racist by not liking it.
Well, that's
not.
We're just gonna have to live with ourselves.
I was disappointed. Okay, here's another criticism. I was disappointed that they didn't let the black actor play as Jesus and let the white guy play as the bad guy. They had to make Judas.
I know,
a bad guy.
My whole thing was like
Jesus probably was dark skinned.
It's very multiculti though. The Asian girl is Mary.
Yeah,
so.
no. What I was about to say is when I
looked
looked at it, I was looking at it and I'm like, are they going to make the black guy the devil? Like that's what I thought was going to happen.
Judas is the main character.
No, for sure.
Here,
everything's from his perspective.
Yeah, and it's good stuff.
There actually is. I noticed some parallels between these two. It's two guys that are friends at first and then become. I didn't say what it's parallel to. Hamilton. I just assumed you guys would know I meant Hamilton because everything refers back to Hamilton. Hamilton and Jesus Christ Superstar have a lot of parallels.
Totally.
It's like two guys that are friends that then have like a difference of opinion and then end up becoming enemies, and one is responsible for the death of the other.
Yeah,
kind of similar.
I'm glad that we
multicultural cast that played in the musicals. So interesting.
So we laud Hamilton for that multicultural cast and 40 years earlier.
Yeah.
Did you see? So Lin-Manuel has been doing. He's in Puerto Rico raising money. He's been
because they're launching the show there, right?
So he's been replaying his role. He's been playing Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
Well, did you see during when he's doing the My Shot? Someone was filming him. Did you see this online?
No.
Someone was filming the show. And so in the middle of the My Shot, he's like, "I'm 19, but my mind is older. Lady in the front in the fourth row, please stop filming me," and then just keeps going. But he didn't stop. He just kept going.
That's great.
And it was amazing.
And of course now she put that on the internet.
No. That she's like instantly deleted it. Like so
he couldn't make it rhyme.
I'm not saying
on the
correctly.
spot while trying to make sure you hit your next line and step.
I'll look it up.
Tough,
He is a professional.
He's the best.
Yeah. What is this? Jesus Christ Superstar?
You
got to go way high.
I can't even do it. That was pretty good.
I could have played Jesus Christ.
No, there you go. Yeah, you don't say. No, I'm glad I watched it. I am. Yeah. Now let's move on to my dad's favorite quote unquote musical.
Yeah.
That they didn't write any music for whatsoever.
Yeah.
Unless you guys had something else to say.
No, I think I'm done.
You didn't. Nah, dog. Don't go down that road.
It's good.
Our gift is this quickie, and this one's for you.
Moulin Rouge. Sadly, and despite what I've been led to believe for almost half my life, this movie does not feature a sizzling cameo by Christina Aguilera in her prime. Come on, man.
The music video does.
That was the only reason I watched it.
Like I said, this is my dad's favorite, but it's my dad's favorite movie. I remember liking this movie more.
This was my least favorite of these
You
three.
guys are full of shit.
I mean,
No, this is not my least
This movie
favorite
is
for
great.
sure.
was I entertained? Yes. But I mean, there's so much going on.
There's a lot going on. It hurts my eyes now.
And it's like
hurts my eyes.
quirky for the sake of being quirky.
Watching it, I did feel like, is this sped up? Because it did feel really
well, they kept
rapid
doing
fire.
that. They kept doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, even from when I watched it earlier on the DVD, earlier in life, I don't remember it being like so freaking fast. Like, just everything was really fast. It was for comedic effect. But I feel like this movie has everything. It's got great music in it.
Ewan McGregor is fantastic.
Ewan McGregor is
great. It's got a lot of good comedy.
He's one of the most talented human beings on this earth.
Yeah.
He's the best part of the prequels, for sure, for Star Wars prequels.
Liam Neeson, but yeah.
Well, Liam Neeson's? Who? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Although when he says, like at the end when he's yelling because she doesn't love you, I mean him or her or whatever, he sounds just like Obi-Wan.
Hello there.
But that's just him yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you can't hear anything that James Earl Jones does without thinking Darth Vader. You just want to go anything he's reading the
why
Bible.
Is Darth Vader?
In the beginning, God
why is Darth
created the
Vader
heavens and the
Mufasa?
Like, yeah, I'm glad that lion is dead.
I am your.
Now this movie, it has comedy.
No,
I mean,
it's
the love story is honestly like there's not very many love stories that I don't just like groan at, but like this one I'm just like, God, it's really good. There are moments where like I just get chills from being so powerful. I get chill bumps. No, it's so good. Like how fucking amazing was that Roxanne tango scene?
Roxanne,
you don't have to put on the red lights.
So good. Oh man,
it's so good, and exactly what's happening in the real story. It's so good.
One of my watching the movie, I kid, I do really enjoy this movie. It's hard not to like it, just because the performances are great. I don't know. It's honestly sometimes it's better just to listen to the soundtrack because like I like the songs.
You don't get to see the gorgeous Nicole Kidman. She's like seriously one of the most beautiful creatures that has ever been created.
She's great. She's an Aussie too.
Yeah. They can crank out some really beautiful women.
But
what's Harley Quinn? What's her name? What's the actress that
Margot Robbie?
Yeah, Margot Robbie. Those are just two of the most beautiful women I've ever seen.
No, Australians.
Second and third, of course, my wife.
Yeah.
Of course.
Maybe she was secretly from Australia.
You find out. She's like, because you walk in, g'day.
Do a 23andMe. She's like 99% Aboriginal.
That's awesome. But no, so this movie is what it is it's like the musical theater nerd's dream. It's like, oh, we're gonna save the day by putting on a play.
Yeah,
that's like the whole like reason they're doing everything. Is just like, why this is not gonna accomplish anything other than you get to put on a spectacular.
Well, it was the Bohemian ideals. They kept referring back to like something that was of art and beauty and music. And
I did enjoy John Leguizamo as Lautrec in this one.
Lautrec. So he was a painter.
Yeah,
and the Moulin Rouge was a house of ill repute, and there was the red windmill and everything.
Yeah.
And so that's where this whole idea comes from of this entire play and everything is a painting that Toulouse-Lautrec did of
you're saying real world,
real world. This guy existed.
So there's been a lot of films named Moulin Rouge. There's been a lot of talk about Moulin Rouge. There never was an actual play or musical that was Moulin Rouge, was there? I know there was like a 1950s movie, and then there's this one. Obviously, Moulin Rouge comes up in some form of fiction somehow, but this isn't a movie version of an existing musical.
No, I don't think so.
In fact,
Not
they're coming out with a musical.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Broadway play and then they made this movie.
But they're going to do one now, which is awesome.
I didn't hate it. I mean,
I'd see that.
It was entertaining.
Yeah.
This is one that I probably wouldn't watch again.
What about the soundtrack?
Very bombastic, like just too much stuff going on and too much like I said, quirk for the sake of quirk, like over the top. Like I get why people like it.
Because you can!
Yeah. I don't like, because this is like an Oscar winner, right? And like...
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it didn't win like Best Picture, was nominated or something.
Best Picture.
It actually was disqualified for... It won some other Oscars, but it was disqualified for the Best Song Award because that Come What May actually
It's
was
from
written...
Titanic.
No, it was written for not for Mulan, Romeo and Juliet.
I thought it was written for
'Cause
Titanic.
This director also did Romeo and Juliet, which you haven't seen, have you?
Baz Luhrmann.
No.
Okay, I do think we should. So I'm actually a little bummed that we did Jesus Christ Superstar because I thought it would have been good if we did Passion of the Christ, Jesus Christ Superstar, and Last Temptation of Christ. If we did like a Jesus trilogy,
A J3.
J3, and then but a Baz Luhrmann episode we did like Australia. Elise loves the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
I really thought the Come What May was written for Titanic.
No,
I thought that was the original.
written by David Bearwald for Romeo and Juliet.
Interesting.
But not used. So it couldn't qualify to be an Oscar song nomination.
Of course. No, that makes
if it
sense.
wasn't
Dumb
used,
because
yeah.
it was never used in the actual final production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So here's the thing, Donnie, me and Corey have been working on this for a long time. We're actually going to do the Love Medley. I'll be playing Nicole Kidman. Corey will be playing Ewan McGregor, and we've actually been working on it. So we're going to do the entire thing right now.
I'll be too loose for twack.
You were saying earlier.
We probably could.
You were saying earlier. I don't know if we captured it on recording or not, but like the moment when like they're in this cacophony of trying to find out like how the lyrics should go for their Switzerland.
The hills are,
and then the hills are alive with the sound of music.
Oh man,
it was an amazing moment. Tell me you didn't get chill bumps.
Oh no, totally good. So what it was is mainly what it is the music, the singing, the characters. Incredible.
Yeah.
Everybody is 211.
Yeah.
The
Duke.
The Duke is just do not. I can't even do his voice. It's so Weasley.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. Do not like it when people play with my things.
Wouldn't it be better if the Maharaja won?
Yeah. I know.
Isn't that more realistic?
We're gonna put on a play and it'll change his mind.
It sounds like they got that guy to physically portray the Duke, like David Prowse style.
Yeah.
And then they got like Hank Azaria to do that.
Oh, the voice?
Yeah.
That's so it's a Darth Vader situation.
Yeah.
That's our new thing. A Darth Vader situation. We're like you can't have James Earl Jones who's
Your
not
classic Vader situation.
situation. But watching it was actually a little harder for me now that I'm older because Donnie is right. It's frenetic. Like there's just like this hurts my eyes. But then when they actually are stopping and they're singing and they're doing their thing, oh my gosh, it's so.
I understand
so good.
why it's liked, on a popular level.
Right.
I don't understand like the critical accolades. Like
spectacle. It's spectacle.
Spectacular.
Guess.
No, like especially at the time when this came out, spectacle was
this 2002? 2001?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is classic 2001 stuff. No, I mean serious. Don't laugh at me.
No, that just sounds crazy because it is pretty much classic now.
Oh.
Doesn't it take like 22 decades to become classic or something?
So almost classic.
Yeah, I mean we're really close to it being classic.
Yeah.
My mom told me
Scary.
something because my mom started there's a consignment store in Morro Bay where they have their other house and mom got a stall there and she's saying that the difference between antique and vintage, the second something goes out of print or out of production, it immediately becomes vintage.
Huh.
But then for it to be an antique, it has to be over 25 years old.
Okay.
So anyway, I found that. So this is not quite this is not an antique yet.
Not quite.
Yeah,
It's
not
getting
quite.
close.
Yeah.
Did anybody else pick up? They kind of started this like storyline where like Toulouse was in love with Christian. Like there was a moment where Christian was professing his love for Satine.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
And then like they panned out and they went to Toulouse and he had like tears in his eyes
Because it was
he was like longing for. I think it was just the fact that it was just love.
It was just love, beautiful, like everything about Toulouse was like, that was the most purest form of the Bohemian lifestyle itself.
I'll accept that, but at first I thought like, does he have a thing for Christian?
I mean, I didn't pick up on that.
You're getting Lautrec and Prudence from the next movie mixed up.
Mm-hmm. He wants to hold your hand. But yeah, no, what we were talking about earlier, like what our favorite number is. Obviously, the Your Song when he's singing it, belting it out. The Love Medley, the Come
Like the way that they orchestrated it with the violins and everything like that, and took what's his name?
Ewan McGregor.
No, the artist of that song originally.
Oh, Elton
Piano
John.
Man, Elton John. Yes.
Technically, the Piano Man is dang it, the guy from New Jersey.
But he is the Piano Man. Yeah. Anyway, but the way they took that song and just kind of broke it down and recreated it with orchestration was so beautiful.
What the heck is the Piano Man's name? I'm not
everybody. This is your song.
It may be quiet.
Is the Piano Man
Billy Joel.
No,
Billy Joel. There, I finally figured it out. Billy Joel. My dad said, so when he was looking on CD for the soundtrack, he's like, all I could find is like this other one. It didn't have any of the song. It didn't have the Your Song on it. He's like, they just must be like trying, like it was better than the original version. So they don't want you to hear it. It's like, Dad, no, you just bought, there's 2 CDs. There's all the orchestral stuff. And then there's the actual like soundtrack. It's like, here. And I bought him the soundtrack. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, who's they? Who's keeping Elton John down?
It's a conspiracy.
Everything is always they. Yeah. They don't want you to hear it. Like, what are you talking about?
But I would assume like
Elton John was one of the original they.
Yeah.
I would assume for a lot of his theys, like part of that is the gay agenda. They're not going to be keeping Elton John down.
That's what I said, yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I just don't know.
These conspiracies don't make sense.
Yeah, they don't. That's the thing. They're always conflicting. Eventually, like either the government is trying to keep us down or the government is protecting us.
Did you say they're always conflicting?
Oh my gosh, I did the they. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that John Leguizamo actually had to go through a couple of weeks of physical therapy after this because of having to like crouch and be on his knees and stuff all the time. Yeah.
I didn't notice that he was of short stature until like way later. Watch like my third viewing.
His first introduction, he like dwarfs into the room.
Is that a thing? I'm just dwarfing down the street.
So is he like part of the?
So I dwarf into this house.
He was in Romeo and Juliet too. Is there like a Boz Lerman family?
Probably.
Yeah.
He likes to use Aussies, obviously.
We could have put this movie with another. There's something called the Red Curtain Trio or Trilogy, the Red Curtain Trilogy, by this director. He did Romeo and Juliet. He did this one, and then some other musical or musical type movie.
Boz Lerman is the name of the
Boz Lerman.
Yeah.
He did like 3 of them, and they call it the Red Curtain Trilogy.
Do they all end with the red curtain going over? I mean, being serious, do they all like end with the?
They might. I'm not sure. Is that how Romeo and Juliet does?
Yeah.
Don't ask
me. Great Gatsby, Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, The Get Down, Strictly Ballroom, Australia, Winter of Our Dreams. This is great. Number 5, the film, The First Monday in May, Secret Life of Flowers, Crazy About Tiffany's. Man, guys, is not as prolific as I thought. I thought he'd be more prolific. Good movie.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? But we were saying it earlier. The first time you hear him do "The Hills Are Alive," it's just like, oh, like everybody has the same reaction that I did when I heard it.
Yeah.
So
chill bumps.
It's just good.
Yeah.
But I was watching an interview with Nicole Kidman when Ewan McGregor, when they're doing, because they're singing
into each other's faces,
and she just was talking about how like legit romantic, how romantic it is, because like you're singing what you're right there, and like then he's singing what he's doing on stage. Obviously, they record after. They're not doing the Les Mis thing.
That's the thing, is everything always feels like it's ADR because they have to do that technique where you record in a controlled studio to get that perfect sound.
But not in Les Mis.
Pitch correcting, and then everybody's lip syncing on stage to capture it. Yeah.
But anyway, she was saying that he sings that good live, whatever. And so she's just like, every time after every take, she's like, whew, so good. And then he pulls out his lightsaber and cuts General Grievous in twain.
I'm sure he pulled out his lightsaber for her, but
no, he was married at the time. So was she.
All those Hollywood actors.
Who was she? Oh, Tom Cruise. That's right. I'm like, she was married to somebody
at that time.
Not
2001.
After that, she married Keith Urban.
Keith Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she still married to him?
Yeah. But you see him at the award ceremony. It's the clapping thing. Have you not seen her do the clapping thing at last year's?
She was wearing trying to break a nail.
She was wearing $500,000 worth of jewelry on her hands or something like that. And so she was so worried. Some designer gave it to her. She was so worried she was going to break it.
Right.
That she was clapping all funny.
I'd do it too.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't
So
even.
in this movie, they made that like, what do you call that? Like, it's more than a necklace. It was like it's a brooch?
Statement piece.
Whatever.
Yeah.
That thing had like 1,300 diamonds in it.
Jeez.
And it was, I
Use
forget.
a cubic zirconia or whatever.
It was like 180 carats of diamonds. It was something insane. Yeah.
That makes me kind of, I wouldn't want to touch it.
Right?
It's like if someone handed me a Fabergé egg, like, no, please take this
Yeah, I don't want this.
I don't want this.
Too much
pressure.
responsibility. Yeah.
Someone tosses you a Fabergé.
Oh no, don't that is cringeworthy. Just thinking about it. But luckily, I have good catching skills because obviously from the knife in my hand. So she had.
Don't worry, I got it.
I got it. So she had TB, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was consumption at the time.
Someone was talking about that, like tuberculosis was a romantic disease. Like it was like something that you would have.
If you get off on hacking blood, then I guess.
You know what I'm talking about?
But you're kissing and you're in close proximity to somebody that you're romantic with, and that's how you would contract it because it's a bacterial infection.
No,
in your
it was
lungs.
like something that people would write about, like it was a tragically romantic disease. But like syphilis wasn't, obviously, because it was face melting. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. We were talking literature stuff, but like TB was like a fashionable disease.
If it's good enough for Doc Holliday, it's good enough for some French whore.
Daisy. She's a I can't think of the word now. Courtesan.
Yeah.
Courtesan.
Yeah.
So Courtney Love was slated. She auditioned for this part.
No.
And like I'm not sure how the business deal went down, but they wanted the licensing to Smells Like Teen Spirit, and she had control of all of that at the
that's
time.
right. I do remember this.
And so like they let her audition, but then they didn't pick her, and they were like nervous she was going to get upset. Also, they were going to have Marilyn Manson sing the Smells Like Teen Spirit, but apparently Marilyn Manson and Courtney Love like had this huge like feud.
They toured together and they hated each other.
Yeah. And so
Really? I don't remember that.
It was in the 90s, I think.
So she evoked her performer approval clause on her contract for the Smells Like Teen Spirit to basically say no Marilyn Manson. If she had gotten the part, maybe she would have. But
they still use some of the lyrics.
yeah, it's still in there.
Okay.
She just basically said no, you can't have Marilyn Manson sing it.
Oh,
so they got
okay.
somebody else to sing it like 8 days before it was due or something.
The soundtrack is interesting because if you listen to the official soundtrack, there's a lot of songs that you only hear for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and
is
then
it
they
like like that opening thing is like a medley of a bunch of pop songs at the time.
Yeah,
with
but
like
so-
maybe 2 or 3 lyrics from each.
that the actual soundtrack is actually just that medley. But one of the ones they talk about the Diamond Dogs.
all the girls.
They call them the Diamond Dogs. Beck, who's one of my favorite artists of all time, wrote a whole song called Diamond Dogs.
Yeah, didn't make it in.
It's on the soundtrack. You hear it for 2 seconds in the film, but the full song is awesome. You actually should listen to it.
Because they all had like personas. There was like Arabia. There was like Baby Doll. They all. It was funny. I heard that they were all designed after male fetishes. And so,
Now I'm.
and there's a bunch of them. There's like
Really
20 or
weirded
30
out.
of them.
Yeah.
I found a list of all of them. I'm like, I don't want
That's-
this being a part in the movie at all, but somebody went back
What
into the
list
research.
what are you looking up?
So
No judgment, but like, what are you looking
I'm
up?
looking at some sites on the dark web.
So was Nene
Some
like
real dirty sites.
the hateful bitch fetish?
Yeah, that jealous bitch. That she was so wrong when she blurted out that like,
Yeah.
she says the Duke. Oh, I mean the Maharaja. Yeah,
Yeah.
what a bitch.
The poor writer. I mean sitar player.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what she said. And it was funny.
We're
when-
gonna say it by putting on a show.
That was again why the Roxanne Tango scene was so powerful, because like she ended up being like the woman who wasn't faithful to her husband, and then he ends up killing her. The whole end where they're all standing around her and she's dead on the ground.
He
Very
would
powerful.
have TB, right? Totally.
If he was hooking up with her.
Oh, big time.
right?
They had sex multiple times during the.
I don't know if it's sexually transmitted. I think it's more of just
kissing.
It's aerial.
Well, I don't know about you, but usually during sex we're in fairly close proximity.
No, I'm as far away as I can.
Far with your giant urethra.
No mixing of sex and kissing.
What am I going
So-
to kiss the back of her head?
There you go. Boom.
Let's cut that.
No, it's funny.
That's good.
You want to bleep it?
No, we can't bleep it. There's already like 50 things we have to bleep in this one. We're getting bluer and bluer. You want to move on?
And I usually don't go blue, but
the kiss in the back of the head is like.
well, if I hadn't watched it with subtitles, I wouldn't have understood like anything that was going on.
It's so fast. Yeah, I wish I had subtitles to understand some of it, but there's so much good stuff. I love it so much.
Wish now that I watched it drunk, like what that would have done. Because like they had the green fairy there, little Kylie Minogue, the little green fairy, absinthe.
Yeah,
you like this? Have you ever heard the song "Absinthe" with Faust by Cradle of Filth? It's a good song, man. I'll play it for you later. It's a metal song.
It's good.
For the benefit of Mr. Kite, we have this quickie.
Across the universe, in this moving tribute to shoehorns, Beatles lyrics. Beatles lyrics are squeezed in anywhere and everywhere that they might remotely apply on either a literal or figurative level.
So comparing this one to the last movie, I felt like Moulin Rouge, they picked songs where the lyrics fit, I think, perfectly for what was going on screen. This one, like Donnie mentioned, like it was like, that loosely fits. Like they just forced that in there, and it doesn't really quite tell the story so much.
I'm a big Beatles fan. Paul McCartney seeing him in concert.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I'm just really indifferent to the Beatles.
And then that's fine. I know a lot of people. Elise is fairly indifferent too.
I respect what they did.
For sure.
I think I like covers of Beatles songs more than I like the actual Beatles songs.
Oh, yeah.
And I respect like what they represented at the time.
Yeah.
But I'm just not a big fan of that.
No, and that's fine. And like, as we get older, you're obviously, you usually like things that are harder and heavier. That's not, even though I know you can appreciate things.
Well, the Beatles sound, I mean, that runs like a huge spectrum because like their earlier stuff is good poppy stuff. Once they started taking drugs they got a little weird.
They got really good at their job.
That's good stuff there, though.
The right melody.
But I actually have no idea where I was going with this. Whatever. I love the Beatles. So I was really excited when this movie came out. This movie is so boring.
Yeah.
And long. And he's 100% right. It's just shoehorned in. I don't care about any of the characters. There's not a really coherent story. There's too many characters. This movie bombed at the box office. Yeah. And when I was watching it, because this one was on Netflix, thank you, Thomas, by the way, for that. We really appreciate that. I'm watching it, it's like, oh yeah, I've seen this movie before. And then I got to the ending and like, I don't remember this is how it ended. And I'm like, when did this come out? I'm like, 2007. Okay, 2007, September. I remember we were so bored during this movie, me and Lisa, that we just made out in the theater for the rest of the time. That's literally all we did. It was like this. We were the only ones in the theater. There was like some old couple just and I was super excited. I want to say we probably saw this for my birthday because I was like, oh, cool. Like, I'm really excited. Nope. I did not finish this. So watching this for this episode was the first time I actually saw the whole thing.
See, there was a big part in the middle that I don't really remember because I got distracted.
Same thing?
Yeah, April and I were watching this in bed and we were like, this is something else.
See, there you go. 2007. But I thought all the singing was fine. There are some covers. I actually really like the Prudence's I Want to Hold Your Hand. I'm not a huge fan of the early Beatles sound.
Yeah.
It's just too like
twangy and like poppy.
So when they broke that down, but same thing, it's just like, it was just I feel like this movie was just there to sing Beatles songs.
Yeah.
That's it. There was no actual like
just fan service
charm. There's no charm to it or whatever.
I didn't think it was boring. I mean, I watched the whole thing. I wasn't on my phone or anything like that.
I watched it on my phone, so
there were just any opportunity, just like something in the background that, there would be a random comment with a lyric that kind of applied to it. Other than that,
mainly just the names, their names that they named was the only thing that were relevant.
Jude and Lucy.
Jude and Lucy.
If we had boys, one of their names were going to be Jude. Yeah. Actually, yeah. So anyway,
I do like "Hey Jude." That is a good Beatles song to me. Na 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 na. Hey Jude.
And Jude, wow, so good. No, but like, so the whole time, like, yeah, I'm enjoying the music. It's good. Evan Rachel Wood, she's great. She's in Westworld. The Lucy.
Lucy, which one was she?
She plays the main woman in Westworld, the main robot, the blonde.
Oh, that is her.
That's her, yeah.
That is her.
Mm-hmm.
You
said that twice.
That is her.
Yeah, that's her.
She looked familiar when I was watching this, and I was like, I've seen her, but I stopped watching Westworld. I don't know. It just didn't do it.
The robots. They're all robots, and they're gaining sentience.
Yeah, I watched the first season.
The one guy's a robot, too.
I was like, I'm done.
You're good. Yeah.
Great.
No, but so that's kind of, I'm curious, Thomas, why, other than just the fact that it was on Netflix and easily accessible, this one specifically.
Wasn't that the criteria you gave him?
It was not. My criteria for him was he wanted musicals. He's like, oh, for sure Moulin Rouge, for sure Jesus Christ Superstar. I said, cool. I said, if you feel up to it, if they're easily findable, that would be super cool of you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I like some of the visuals and stuff. When I can't remember what's Lucy's brother's name?
Max.
Max.
No.
It is Max.
Yeah, Max.
Yeah.
Max. Yeah.
When he gets drafted, like his whole getting
Journey
into the
through
military.
Vietnam?
Yeah, just like the registering, going through the boot camp, and getting shaved, and that was a cool sequence.
I like when he's like, I'm a flaming homosexual. He like had like a whole list of things that would probably disqualify him.
Yeah.
It was funny. Whatever his line was, I wish I had it written
They're
down.
like, as long as you don't have flat feet.
Yeah. He's like, damn it.
Man, I had flat feet. I had to wear corrective shoes. I had magic shoes.
Did you really?
My mama told me they could take me anywhere.
It's got magic legs.
Yeah, they got magic shoes. My mama said I had magic shoes. Forrest Gump
Run, Christopher.
Run!
I was running.
I was everywhere I went. I could run like the wind blows today.
How great is that movie, Donnie? You know you love that movie now.
Yeah, it was a good
That
movie.
was so good.
That's just
I never did not. Well,
That
I hadn't
movie
seen it, but
made me like just a huge Tom Hanks fan. I just like realized at that point when I was a kid when that movie came out, like
Yeah,
God, I love
94.
everything Tom Hanks does.
after having finally seen it, I didn't deny that it was a great movie.
Yeah.
What's interesting is Donnie loves Tom Hanks he loved him without Forrest Gump being in the mix.
Yeah.
That's interesting. And you didn't see Castaway before either.
Nope.
Yeah,
Before
that's
we did
crazy.
too.
Those are some of his
Oh,
two
based solely on his work in Bosom Buddies.
The Bad Reception podcast just did Bosom Buddies not that long ago. It's a great episode. It really is. This movie had
I don't have a whole lot to say about Across the Universe. Like, it was just kind of
there's some
there.
Beatles music in it.
It happened. Like
I disagree
I
that
didn't
there was
hate it. I love it.
that there was no story, anything like that.
There was a story. It just was.
There were a lot of characters, but I like how they all tied together. Like I thought it was, easy to follow and like
the best part I think that had the most impact on me is when like Jude realized that like he was losing Lucy to that guy, the douchebag in the
the bomber.
The bomber.
who ended up being bad. Jude ended up being correct. But like just watching that story kind of play out, and it was just like, it's like heartbreaking because it's like there's nothing you can do once you're starting to lose your girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's had to like just.
You can sing her
got
some.
angry.
You can sing her some Beatles songs.
Yeah, well, what you don't do is go to her place of work and then punch her boss. That's what you don't do.
Terrible. Sorry, I broke up your Black Panther party.
Just go paint.
This movie is Forrest Gump, isn't it? Just with a very specific band soundtrack.
Just go paint a violent strawberry.
Ooh, guys, violently paint it.
Get it out of your system.
F you, strawberries. Fields forever.
He wasted a lot of fruit.
Didn't he? I know.
But he's an artist.
Yeah.
Artiste.
He had to
guess-
find his inspiration.
I guess they can do that.
Bohemian.
He's Bohemian.
My
Right.
muse is wasting perfectly good
Would you
food.
guys like living in that apartment with him?
No.
No.
I know. I just thought like, God,
The
I wish I
commune
was that.
lifestyle, kind of.
Like that's not the part that bothers me, but just like how there was like just no respect for personal space. Like I gotta have my own space and my
Yeah.
own things.
Like we're in a room. You are across the room from me.
And then it's like-
Donnie
it's
and me have at
walking,
least 11 feet between us while
Yeah.
we're recording.
people just like having sex or they're changing.
No,
Everyone's just like walking in and out and just having, let me borrow this blouse. You know what I mean? It's
No,
like,
don't touch my stuff.
yeah, it's like exactly. I need my own space.
It would be like an episode of Big Brother, basically, where I was the one freaking out all the time.
Yeah.
Why can't you wash the dishes? I wash the dishes it's just like, can we not have like semen stains on my pillow, please?
Yeah.
But what's weird is I am
I'm
down
the
for
jerk.
the whole.
I'm the jerk that doesn't want semen stains on his pillow. Okay,
all-
fine. I'm the jerk now.
It's all love, man.
It's like, no, it's all semen on my. And also, Don't smoke in here. Why are you smoking? This is where we live. Don't you understand? Secondhand smoke is bad for you.
They did.
No, man. It's the 60s, 70s.
No, I'm down for like the commune kind of concept of like everybody working together for a common goal. Like everybody puts in and does their part, and we all benefit from it. But like, I still need like my space to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Remember MySpace? You have the song that would play.
I had a MySpace.
Yeah, I had a MySpace. You had the one friend.
On MySpace.
The one friend that was like really good at designing like the backgrounds for you.
Yeah.
And like you picked the one song that like defines you at that moment.
There were some cool renditions of Beatles songs in this one. And like in another instance of the interpretation being a little too literal and on the nose, like I Want You, She's So Heavy, one of my favorite Beatles tunes. Mm-hmm. That's part of that military sequence. That's part of that military sequence. And like, they're carrying the Statue of Liberty like on their shoulders. Yeah. So like, okay, that's literal, but it's also metaphorical. Like I get it.
It's clever how they twisted it.
It's a little too on the nose, but I will accept this. And I like what you're doing with this song.
And that's what I think is the difference between this one and Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge at no point stopped being insane.
Yeah.
Okay, this one had insane scenes and not insane scenes.
I disagree. I think it was very insane in the beginning on Moulin Rouge, but it did kind of like temper out a little bit in the middle when it was more of just like you had the established love story. And
there was a guy singing on top of the moon at one point.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, man.
The man in the moon.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It's very slapdash.
Yeah, so this one
it was fun. It was a fun movie, okay? It was a fun ride.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes. I'm saying that's the difference. And that's why Moulin Rouge is better.
Fun summer trash.
I'll grant you that, but it's not trash.
No.
Trash is the only word I take umbrage with.
You're going to accent
fun
with it.
Summer Spectacular.
Fun summer. We had the hardest time coming up with a name for this one.
We spent 20 minutes trying to come up.
It's like
we longer than we spent on
we came up with a
today.
ton of others. What were some of our? We came up with absinthe makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, and then we something with like tomfoolery. How with
we were
the
playing
West
with Doubting Thomas.
Doubting Thomas.
Yeah,
we called it one time. We called it musical theater.
We never called it that.
I called it that. That was my placeholder.
That was working title.
Working title. Then we had. You ready?
That was placeholder title.
You ready for this one, guys? I'm gonna watch my hands. Okay, ready? Patreon the musical.
Yeah, we tried that one, but
no. Look at my hands.
That's jazzy.
Then we did Tim Tam Slam, and we just felt amazing afterwards.
I feel like that really elevated the energy in the room.
So
we need to do that every time at the beginning.
You keep bringing up Les Mis, and every time you mention that, I'm looking straight at that rapper, and I think, I bet Hugh Jackman rocks the Tim Tam Slam
Hugh
every
Jackman.
day.
Yeah, and then he works out for 5 hours.
Yeah,
dude's a triple threat. He's the one that showed me how to do
personally.
Personally, we're good friends. Yeah. me and you. He was one of the first people to introduce me to Vegemite and how to properly eat it before the Aussies actually came and stayed with us. Like they really showed us how to actually do it.
Yeah.
Gosh, I miss bread.
Me too.
I miss bread a lot, and now all I want is some Vegemite toast, because I can't just go eat a spoonful of Vegemite.
Yeah.
Oh no. Anyway,
you could Vegemite on some toasted lettuce.
I could put some on. I mean, I could have a piece of bread. I'm not going to die.
You can make some of that like keto air bread out of eggs or whatever.
Yeah, this is just making me.
I heard somebody on keto who was on a keto diet, and he took pork rinds and something else, made a concoction, and then created like layers. Like he mashed it up, and he made like layers and made enchiladas out of it.
That's so much work.
Yeah, but he said you couldn't tell the difference. It wasn't tortillas.
My wife makes she'll make this chicken lasagna with like thin sliced plantain instead of lasagna noodles. Oh, it's so delicious! But I think I can't eat plantains during this first 2 weeks either.
Very starchy.
Yeah,
very starchy. I have a banana, so I've been having banana once a week basically for the potassium, so I don't get cramps. And I'll have an avocado once a week. Other than that, it's just like fish, chicken breast, and then
I just do like potassium shots.
Shots of potassium with absinthe in them.
Yeah.
And then but most of it's just like just fresh vegetables and chicken breast or some type of fish. Just keep rotating that and then just rinse and repeat. Right now we've been doing a lot of squash because it's in season and I like the taste of squash. So you want to move on?
Yes, please.
Did you record any of that?
Yes.
Oh. Well, might want to take that part out.
It's good.
We had such a good and very quick time the last main episode on the Objectively Gooder segment. So we're going to try it again because it moves really easily. We almost could start calling this Subjectively Gooder.
Yeah.
So our last three movies were, of course, Love Actually, Truly Madly Deeply, and Sense and Sensibility. Were these three movies better, our movies this week, better than last week's episode?
That's another tough
I was thinking
call.
about this because, like, for me, Moulin Rouge is so much better than any of the 6 movies we watched, any of the 3 last week.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ Superstar and Across the Universe are bringing this down so much that the weighted average is below. So I think that last episode was subjectively gooder than this episode. Or are you judging by episodes or the movies?
The movies themselves.
Yeah, the last trio of movies.
Oh, every episode is better than the last
Okay,
episode.
so episode 61 trio of movies was subjectively gooder than episode 62 trio of movies.
I will agree. I did enjoy all three of the Alan Rickman movies. I enjoyed all three of them a lot. Like I really enjoyed them. These three, I really kind of just enjoyed Moulin Rouge. And mainly because like I already know all the songs. So this one, Rickman was better than the musical theater episode.
I can't say. I honestly couldn't say which one was subjectively better.
Gooder, Tony.
Gooder.
We use the proper vernacular here.
Yeah, right. You gotta get
Using
the right
wrong
accent.
yeah.
That's good. Okay, so it's 2 out of 3. We're still in the weeds on it. That was nice. We're done with that. Yay!
It's good.
We don't declare each other the winner here at MGT. That's for you, the Sanhedrin, and the Twitter poll to decide. But we do think someone should win and lose. So we have gooder, badder, fugly. So
Skip to Donnie. I've been racking my brain.
okay,
on wiener.
yeah, Donnie, what's your winner? Are you on a wiener?
That's the one I didn't have.
I know. You got a winner. So you have a winner, Chris. Who's the winner?
I mean, Jude's probably the winner, because he kind of got what he wanted out of everything.
He's the only one who gets the girl in the end.
Yeah.
Jesus didn't get his girl.
No. And then, I mean, you could say the Duke won because he's still a Duke.
Yeah.
And he's still very rich. And he's going to literally get whatever he wants. He just didn't get the one.
He got away with rape and he got away with attempted murder.
He got away with so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
it feels so dirty saying got away with rape.
Yeah.
It just sounds awful.
Yeah, but I'm saying he wins.
But I just think like he's like untouchable. No one's going to try and prosecute him for anything he does.
No.
He's a freaking Duke.
Caiaphas got that cool hat, maintained the status quo.
I'm surprised he didn't float away with that hat.
I did kind of look like a blue. No, he wouldn't do it like that. He go, ho, 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 ho. I am Caiaphas, leader of the Autobots. Go see Bumblebee. It's really good. It was really enjoyable. Well, there. That's good. That's good for winner.
Yeah.
You guys got losers?
I do have a loser.
There's plenty of losers.
No,
to
there's
choose
lots
from.
of losers.
I got a loser. Stay with me here, okay? It's Christians. Okay. So obviously in Jesus Christ Superstar.
With you so far.
Yeah, Jesus Christ Superstar.
I like it when they take a really long time for you to explain something.
They lost Christ. Okay. They were the first century Christians. They lost Christ.
They weren't Christians yet.
Well, they were following Christ.
Yeah, they weren't called Christians until
They
I
weren't,
understand.
not
Yeah.
in name, but they were Christians. All right, so they lost. Christian is in Moulin Rouge, and he lost the love of his life.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the third one, John Lennon famously said one time that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus Christ.
Right.
And Christians got kind of upset about that
Right.
in America. So they lost because the Beatles were on the scene. So there, Christians lose.
Oh, wow. That was long. I like your accent on it, though. What do you got?
My loser's Judas.
Yeah.
He gets a bad rap. Like, I don't know.
hangs
I
himself,
don't want to
too.
get into a theological debate, but I mean, whether it's just divine plan, free will, whatever, like, okay, suppose he's doing whatever he was supposed to do to set this chain in motion.
That's why. That's
a lot of hate.
That's kind of why I wish we could have done this with Passion of the with
Last Temptation.
Last Temptation. Is that Judas is actually his closest friend? Like, you have to do this for me.
Yeah.
And anyway,
Well,
so
there's like Gnostic Gospels where like there is like a Gospel of Judas where that's kind of the thing.
No.
It didn't make the cut during the whole Nicene Creed thing.
That is a theme, though, in Christianity, that they take like somebody who did something that set things in motion, like that catalyze certain things.
Yeah.
And they are the most evil and worst thing. Like there's even an argument for Satan. Like his job was to basically put man to the test for God. To try and trip them.
That's what you guys should really read Lamb. It's really good. Yeah. And that's the whole thing is that like in it, Judas is like, you don't understand. I have to do this. Like it's not.
I've always thought it was funny that like historically one of the early converts to Christianity was Pilate. Had to be fucking awkward. Like, hey guys, you mind if I sit in on this? Sure, everybody's welcome. You guys all remember Pilate from the crucifixion of our Lord.
But you
Take a seat, Pilate.
Everyone's welcome. You guys got Fuglies?
Probably I can't remember his name. The bad guy from Moulin Rouge and that mustache. It was so gross.
The Duke.
The Duke. Yeah.
No matter what, always blood spit. Anytime blood spit is in a movie.
Yeah, but it's coming out of her.
It does.
It's so beautiful.
It could be coming out of a literal angel, which is Nicole Kidman's pretty close.
Yeah.
It's still blood spit.
Yeah. What I don't understand is like she's crazy pale. Like one of the things they actually did, like where she's glowing blue in one of the early scenes where the Diamonds Are Girls.
That's actually how she actually looks.
She was so pale, they put blue lights on her and it gave her like this glowing effect, and they loved it. But she comes from like the land of constant sun. Like how is she? Does she not have a tan?
She's a full redhead. Though.
She's never been outside.
She's never been outside. Yeah. Because she has tuberculosis.
Yeah.
She has consumption. I gotta look it up. There's something about it being that like TB is like the romantic. I'll have to look it up. I'm totally talking out my butt. I was really hoping one of you guys knew what I was talking about. That's usually what it is.
It makes sense.
It's just like, oh yeah,
like you said, like the tragic romantic.
Yeah,
death.
but almost like having I want to say one of the articles there was like TB was almost fashionable. I know that's stupid, but like people were stupid back in the day. So, like people who make movies called Jesus Christ Superstar. But hey, Thomas, we ragged on the movies a lot.
We did, but they were great.
But they were great.
Didn't. Maybe Moulin Rouge a little.
Yeah. Honestly, here's the thing. This is the most positive Donnie's been in a movie since we watched Walk in the Clouds. Yeah. He's been really positive about these. But Thomas, thank you so much, man. I'm so glad that you're in our lives. Your patronage is amazing. You're supportive on social media. It's fun texting with you, especially because he's a Taz brother. He finished Taz Balance before all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, just such a great guy. I'm glad you're doing Crit Storm with the big D.
He's editing. Like he's knocking it out of the park with the sound effects and like it's solid work.
Yeah. I mean, he's the third best
sound editor,
Yeah, that's the running gag is the third best.
Yeah.
But Thomas, thank you so much, man. Looking forward to doing another one of these next January for you.
Yeah.
So, but that is going to do it for us in the MGT Recording Bunker. We really appreciate you rating, reviewing, and subscribing to the podcast on the Apple Podcast app. If you think you know anyone who'd like our show, tell them about us. Please follow us on Twitter at MGT Podcast. Or on Instagram and Facebook at More Gooder Than. Email us at moregooderthan@gmail.com. Call the hotline at 661-489-7323. And visit our website, mgtpodcast.com, where you can support us via Patreon and maybe get an episode, just like Thomas, which we just did an episode for Thomas, and our great and powerful sponsor, Nan, and the rest of the Sacred Grove. While you're there, you can buy a nice...
blood spit soaked handkerchief.
Oh, come on, man.
But it's Nicole Kidman's blood spit, so it's valuable.
So gross.
Somebody's gonna buy that.
His name's Corey. Oh, he's gonna frame it. Don't even. Spit's so gross. I can handle so many other things, but spit. Spit. Vomit doesn't even bother me, but spit, I don't know what it is.
Vomit is supposed to come out.
Yeah, but vomit is like spit plus. It's
definitely disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh, yay, vomit. But like, I don't know. If I see someone throwing up, I don't get grossed out. If I see someone throwing up, not that big of a deal. If someone spit, I would probably throw up in my mouth, which is less disgusting than actually spitting.
Well, go throw up on their spit so you don't have to look at it on the sidewalk.
MGT logo. MGT logo designed by Mary Madewell.
This went all Moulin Rouge with the crazy shit just happening with no explanation.
So much absinthe just being thrown around. That's what we're doing next week for our next week's MGT. MGT Light. We're gonna be drinking absinthe.
If one of our UK friends could send, or if we have any Parisian friends, can send us some actual absinthe, because the shit we get here has like no wormwood content.
Yeah, our government's shut down, so they're not really like.
Yeah, they're not inspecting anything.
That can get through the wall.
Yeah.
Trump's wall.
Just throw it over it. MGT logo design by Mary Madewell. Home Tree logo design by Dan Nicholson. And of course, we're proud members of the Podfix Network. Follow us at Podfix on Twitter and the podfixnetwork.com to see the full lineup of shows. And of course, listen to Donnie and Thomas on the Quitstorm podcast, available on all podcatchers. And at least for a few more weeks, me and Chris Green from the Gravity Beard podcast will be doing the NFL Podfix Presents recap show. I don't know. Love?
Actually.
Yeah. It's bye for me, Chris. Kind of, I guess. Bye. That's terrible. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well, bye. And Corey?
Later.
And Donnie.
See ya.
This was a podcast from the Podfix Network.
You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.